Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently working towards declaring war on the 13 colonies. We're not going to do that just yet. We're currently setting up to deal with these guys. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to deal with that. We may end up building a fort on here. I don't know. Honestly, I think just having a real actual navy would be the way to go, now that I think about it. That's probably going to be what ends up happening. We are experiencing high naval attrition out over here, and we'll see how many of our ships make their way around. Hopefully some. One of our ships was lost, another one was lost. There's a successful conversion, and there we go. I'm not shocked that we're losing some transport ships here. However, we're losing all of them. We lost all of them. That is unfortunate, but we didn't actually build any of those transport ships. So that is definitely something to note. And we are building additional transport ships out over here. There will be more. This is building 6. Okay. We should probably get at least 2 more going. So let's build ourselves a pair of additional brigs here and here. That'll take about a year to get done. Spain rivaled us. No shockers there. We don't need to do any coring, correct? Correct. Unless we were to make these full states. And honestly, I'm leaning towards doing it. I'm leaning towards doing it. We are slightly over capacity right now. So the way that we would, of course, do that is by going into our states map mode, which is here. And we would come down over this way, and we would just make all of these into states. This will put us over our governing cap. We will have additional governing cap soon enough, so I'm not super concerned about that. So these be made into states. We can't do this one just yet. We can do this one, though. Okay, so something along the lines of this. And these would, of course, all need to be cored. So we'll start letting that autonomy tick down. And I think that that will likely end up paying for itself. We'll see how that goes. All of these can be moved in here. Okay. So we have 5 units here right now. 422 is what they have. So, I mean, this is going to be pretty awkward with just 6 transport ships. Okay, yeah, this is all reasonably fine. So if we attach this to the transport, or even if we just do this, what grouping is it going to bring? 6 infantry with our leader. Actually, 4 infantry, 2 cannon. They're going to have a better combat width than us. That said, our manpower is doing pretty well. We can probably do that. So we'll see how these battles are going to go. It takes some time there, but I think it's fast enough that our reinforcements will come in. Yes, we're fine. Okay, so that's beautiful. We, of course, desperately need to increase our number of ships here. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so there's all of these guys here. And I do want to bump this up. We know that we need like 32. So we have 2 constructing here, so we need to bring this up to 30. We'll get that going for now, and I'm just going to leave these guys where they're at for the moment. These caravels, they can have an explorer, and we will go ahead and continue to explore. Cool. So that'll be fine for the time being. We have too few seats in Parliament. We need to give at least 2 more locations Parliament seats. That's fine. We'll give you one, and we'll give... You already have one. We'll give you one. Cool. So no problem there. Eventually, we're going to want to boost up our stability, but I think it's much more important right now to grab our next admin tech. We are running into problems from global trade in all categories at this point. So we really do want to get global trade. That, of course, means we need gold, and we also need gold for building our ships. So we have a lot of resources that we need a lot of right now, right? And that's understood. We're at 6.9% development. It is really starting to spread out over this direction. Indeed. But this is slow going. We are going to have some locations down here grabbing global trade fairly soon. Manufactories are on the way. And one thing I want to check in on here is how much are we spending on rooting out corruption? Okay. Noted. A lot of this is our colonies, right? Actually, no, we only have 2 colonies now. That's right, we did manage to get that fixed. Our inflation isn't great, but it is actually dropping. So that's a good sign. And we can continue to work on missionary strength here. Excellent. These guys are going to move right on in over here. We do have a loan right now. And we're paying 2.46 on that loan. Ooh, 350 ducats. 350 ducats sounds really good. I'm going to actually seize land here. That is going to give us some decent changes here. And we'll force them to pay beyond that. Beautiful. So we now have some cash, and what are we going to do with that cash? Well, we're going to group this fleet together, and we're going to bring this up to 32 in size. This is only transports. We don't have a combat fleet at this time. That is noted. At this point, I would like to start working on paying off our interest. So how much do we need for that? 677.73. Okay. What is our corruption dropping by? 0.54 annually. That's going pretty well, actually. I like that. This, of course, is very, very slow, but it is dropping. We could reduce our inflation, but that is admin power, and I'd rather not do that. We could raise war taxes. Again, I'd rather not do that at this moment. We do now have access to Diptech 17, so we will happily take that. Cool. Admin Tech 17 will be very good for us, getting us universities as well as admin efficiency and governing cap. That would be very, very good. So we want to get that as soon as we can. We want to reduce our inflation. We want to boost our stability. All of that would be amazing. We have a number of things that are preventing us really from attacking anybody at this point. That said, British Louisiana is pretty weak. They are allied with 13 colonies who would not accept. Noted. They are Miltech 18. So the problematic thing there is, in order to fight them, we would need 2 armies together. So we really should move this army northward. I'm not going to force march it, but we're going to start heading up. It's going to take some time. Support independence from Newfoundland. That's these guys up here. For now, we're going to decline that. It's an interesting option, but not one that I want to take at this moment. Okay. We just renewed our bank loan, which is non-ideal. We can get our final quantity idea. I think we go for Miltech 19 here, to be honest. Miltech 19 is a pretty good one. Great Britain is planning to attack the Acoma Federation. Okay. We need these guys to get into position. 13 colonies had almost 1,000 reasons to not accept this. Because of their debt levels, but because it's not suitable for a crown colony. Interesting. So they're never going to be interested in doing that. No, I wanted to explore. We'll explore the Eastern Indian Ocean for the time being. Cool. So we're working on getting this ready to go. That's going to... Is that all queued here? Why did it all queue here instead of queuing down through here? Whatever. That's weird. That's really weird, actually. In that case, we should cancel a bunch of these. So there are 22 units in this queue. We can get this built a lot faster. So now there's 1. We know we need 21 of these. I don't know why we have to manually queue this, but whatever. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Okay. That'll build a lot faster than building those 22 all from the same location. It's very strange that it chose to do that, but whatever. Yeah, this is held directly by Great Britain here. Our colony in Janos has grown enough to become self-sustaining. Wonderful. We, of course, want to head down this direction, but we can't do that until Rio Branco is done. So we can grab anything up over here, but this is all guaranteed at this point. So I would rather start colonization up over this direction. Cool. So our forces are arriving up here. And these guys are in the British war against the Acoma Federation. I love it. So that's looking great. We do have a core that we can do in Janos. We'll definitely take that. And then we have too few rivals right now. We are going to rival British Louisiana, actually, since we are planning on declaring war on them imminently. We do need a new leader here, and I'll recruit a general. I don't like spending the mill power, but that's a pretty decent general, all things considered. So at this point, if we were to attack British Louisiana, who would join? No one. I don't want either of these CBs. We're going to need to build a spy network on them for a bit. Okay, in that case, we will drill here for just a little bit. We're preparing for that war. We're not quite there yet. I should have thought of that. I should have got that going when we started moving up. But it's fine. We do have Caribbean separatists thinking about spawning pretty soon. We should probably move down over here. And we'll preempt that. Beautiful. And now we're here. There's 0 unrest. That's no longer a problem. Excellent. We cap out at 90,000 manpower. And we had a harvest failure, which is definitely non-ideal. Okay. So how are we doing with a new seat in Parliament? Oh, okay. Sure. How are we doing with our spy network? It's at 10. Beautiful. So we'll continue to punch through here. Chinook is attacking over here, but they're actually dealt with. 25 dip power. We'll take it. I like it. When do we get our next Miltech? 1641? Okay. 8.6% embracement of global trade at this point. It's definitely getting faster, this spread. So that's good. That'll be done eventually. And I think once we hit around... We're at 16 right now. Let's go ahead and stop drilling now. That just tops off our drill. I like it. And we're going to launch our attack very shortly. Just as soon as we have 20 here and we can make a proper claim. And yeah, we've got all of these ships now. All of these ships are, of course, going to be grouping up right here. Beautiful. So that puts us at 28, and this one can come on in as well. We're getting closer on that front. Okay, let's go ahead and fabricate our claim here. And what do we want to fabricate on? Highest development. There we go. Now we declare this war. Now, they did bump up their troop count to 52k, but they have only 25k manpower reserves. So we're going to have to keep our forces relatively close together. But they are otherwise occupied. And we need to ticket a day. There we go. We needed our proper CB. So, Conquest CB. Beautiful. Oh, they have very few infantry, actually. 25k infantry. So they're slightly cannon heavy. Noted. Okay, so we're going to head in like so. We're going to be a little bit careful with our positioning here. That's definitely what's going to happen. Okay, we see a 43k stack here. I'm going to move this army here, this army here. We will allow our vassals to be the ones to cap for the moment. We're going to group up and look to fight them up over here if we can catch any of them. They're running away, which is a good sign. Actually, we can catch them here. Our initial force is going to take some pain. But our reinforcements will get there. Fantastic. That was a very nice victory. Okay, we can spread out a little bit here, and that wasn't actually all that painful on our initial force that caught them either. I love it. That worked out quite well. Our initial force actually almost beat them, remarkably. So we're going to grab some territory here. All of our vassal troops are heading in, of course. And we'll keep our units fairly close together. We're making for their capital over this way. And letting our vassal troops fill in the back line. Beautiful. So how much are we actually going to take from British Louisiana? It's potentially going to be a lot. So we're going to hit directly into their capital. Great Britain is preparing to attack France. Okay, I'm completely fine with that. We're going to grab University here. We are going to have some admin issues. So we're going to bank admin power for now. We can make a state down over here. Sure. And that, of course, means that we're going to need 30 admin power to core that. We'll have that done before this war is over, and then from there, we'll bank admin power. I'm reasonably confident in our... Yeah, we're at 17. We're reasonably caught up in admin at this point. So that's not so bad. We're going to head in over here. And this is, of course, 13 colonies over this way. So we're at 49% war score right now, and cruising on through here with no real issues. I want to... Oh, we don't quite have this. And we have Nukernaden Separatists. We'll look at that in a moment. We'll increase production. Aztec occupied Little Egypt. Yes. And these guys from here are going to head down... Nope, select them. There we go. They're going to head down and grab that Separatist situation. Beautiful. We'll continue to convert. And heading in up over here, their capital has now fallen. We're going to continue to push up along this river. We don't know where their troops are, but we know that they fled up this direction-ish. Okay. How much are we actually looking to take here? That's a valid question. We have a government reform. Let's see what we want here. Leader cost reduction... Advisor cost minus 10% is actually a pretty big deal. We'll grab that. Cool. So that'll be fine. We'll get this core made. And now we're banking admin power for sure. Peace offer from British Louisiana. No shockers there. We're continuing to push up towards the Great Lakes. No sign of the British Louisianan forces at this point. -2 to national unrest. I like that. We're going to shy to this side over here. Again, because we don't know where their forces are, and we probably want to stay fairly close together, right? 47k with 8k in reserve. I mean, that did chip through them pretty heavily. No doubt about that. Okay, all of these ships should group up over here now that we have a full-size transport fleet. I like it. Trade dispute against Portugal. Yeah, that's to be expected. And we're just going to continue to head up into Michigan here. Cool. We're at 93%. There is at least part of their army. We're going to walk over there with one of our armies. This is not a very powerful army that we see over here. Cool. So we crushed that, no problem. We're going to head up this direction. I think now we're completely safe to spread out. That said, this over here is Newfoundland. So, we're basically done with this one. We have just crushed them. Absolutely. And that was exactly what was expected, to be honest. We did not expect this to be a difficult one. And it wasn't. So we're just going to continue to push up over here. Great Britain is probably very sad about this. I do see this going on here. I'm not very concerned about it. I do think that maybe we should bring one of our armies back, though. Just to deal with some of this back here. And that seems reasonably fine. We'll continue to push through over here. And this is going very, very well. They are offering us peace. They're offering to cede us one location and release a bunch of people. No, get out of here with that. That is not what we're after. Under no circumstances would we accept that peace deal. Okay, what are we after, though? That is a question that we should probably ask. I doubt we could full annex this. There's a lot here. Even if we could, what would that put us at for admin and aggressive expansion? It'd be a lot. It certainly would be a lot. I mean, this would be an absolutely huge land grab. I'm just curious at this point. What would it look like? This is the best we can do. So that would be a small amount of aggressive expansion. I say a small amount. That would be 500 aggressive expansion. 200 of that applying to Great Britain. So Portuguese Cascadia, we probably don't care about. That's going to go away pretty quickly. Portuguese California, we probably don't care about. Great Britain, we might care a little bit about. Spanish Peru, Spanish West Indies are irrelevant. British Mexico, irrelevant. Newfoundland, possibly irrelevant. 13 colonies, vaguely relevant. And British Louisiana, irrelevant. Spain themselves wouldn't be in this. Portugal wouldn't be in it. Great Britain would be. So what do we think about Great Britain? They have no manpower. They have fewer troops than we do. Is this fine? They're Miltech 18, so they're on par with us technologically, but we're going to get another Miltech soon. We could think about getting another army soon. With all of this getting taken over and cored, how much would this cost to core? 2,257. That's a lot of coring. And that would put us at 242% overextension. This feels tremendously risky to take this much. So I think we're going to shave it down a bit. I think that it's a little ambitious to take that much. What if we took something more along the lines of this? That does shave it down a lot. Britain is then at 145. I mean, they're still pretty upset about it. Let's take another row off here. Something along the lines of this. I mean, they're still at 106. This is roughly half the amount of admin power. We can always come back and take this later. This would be a big cut into British power in this region. So British Louisiana is going to have... They're going to struggle here. 13 colonies we can also attack fairly soon, in theory. Even if we do this, I suspect we're probably going to have some pretty major coalitions coming against us. I'd rather not have coalitions, so maybe we pare it back to be something like this. Great Britain is still going to be upset. It's still going to cost over 1,000 to core this. We can take war reparations. We can take their gold. We could pillage their capital, but there's no point. We could also release a few nations, which would be beneficial for us. So if we do this, this is not going to give us aggressive expansion, but it will cause them to release a bunch of nations in these areas, which will further slow down their progress. I feel like this is a manageable coalition, in theory. Great Britain is the spooky part there, but we are stronger than Great Britain. We need to remember that. We are stronger than them. Like, yeah, they're number 2 in the Great Powers. We are number 6. But militarily, we're stronger than Great Britain. So I feel like this is a decent option here. I mean, we could take that just to max it out. Sure. What could possibly go wrong? 135% overextension. I'm sure it'll be great. We did a lot of damage to them, no doubt about that. We are going to have a lot of problems. We're going to have a lot of problems. We need to get coring, and we need to do so as quickly as possible. We'll start from the top of the overextension down to the bottom. Most of this is giving us overextension, and it's going to be yikes. No doubt about that. I'm going to pay off our loan right now, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we can root out corruption to about this level here. And prepare for the oncoming storm, which will be next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.